Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Build Right is the program, and of course, we set for the conversation this beautiful Thursday morning. And I did tell you, we're going to be taking you all the way to Ejigbo to just reflect a bit and examine the crucial roles that district officers play in shaping the effectiveness of the built environment in Lagos. And joining me in the studios this morning, I've got two great friends, town planner Adejumo Olufemi Alani. If you're wondering who he is, he's a fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Town Planner, Institute of Town Planners, and he's also the Chief Town Planning Officer with LASPPPA, that's the Lagos State Physical Planning Permit Authority, and currently is the head of the Ejigbo District Office. Nice to have you in the building, Town Planner Alani. Good morning.
Good morning, thank you.
And how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Wonderful. Yeah. Joining him as well is Engineer Adeniyi Stephen Joseph. I understand he's a Deputy Director, Geotechnical Engineering with the Lagos State Building Control Agency, LASBCA, and he's also the head of the Ejigbo District Office. Nice to have you in the building as well, Adeniyi Stephen Joseph. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
And how are you doing?
I'm very well, sir.
Great. All right, then. So, both of you, it's your first time of being in our studios, I suspect?
Very well, sir.
Very well.
All right, so Temple and Alani, just look to your left. We have the big cameras there, both of you. What do you make of the roads, as you can see them this morning? Temple and Alani, let's start with you first.
The road is... The traffic's a bit light.
It's very light, right?
Yeah.
So it's a reflection of this season. People are still taking their time to relax at home.
Yes.
So which of those locations can you identify? Which of those roads do you know? Which of them?
This look like Ojota.
Okay. Adeniyi Stevens, which of them can you identify?
Right. That should be... Ikorodu
Road. Okay. All right. So I guess you guys still have an idea of where you are. But let's just jump in on the program this morning because there's a whole lot to cover. And first off, we're going to be dwelling with the amnesty program on completed buildings. And of course, when we talk about planning permit, Tampana Alani, how is that campaign going in Ejigbo?
Seriously, the campaign is well taken by people of Ejigbo. You know, before amnesty, the numbers of applications submitted monthly is far below what we are experiencing during amnesty. Before amnesty, in a month, we can hardly have 12 to 15 applications before amnesty.
But during this
amnesty, the least I've ever experienced was like 20.
Wow.
So this month, you know, it was supposed to end in August. Towards the end of August, we had over 50.
Ooh.
This December, I think the application just last week up to Monday before this holiday,
right, we
have, within a span of 1 week, we have more than 30.
Wow. So people are really trooping in?
Yes.
Ejigbo?
Yes.
Wow. That means they seem to realize the importance of all of this, right? All right, Stephen, let's get to you as the one in charge of enforcement. How is the campaign going?
It's going very well. Like my colleague had said, they are actually responding very well now, but the response is not in tandem with what we actually expect.
You mean it?
Compared to some other districts.
All right, so your expectations are much higher than that.
Exactly. So
why is that? Why is that so?
Yeah, people will be like, they want to wait till the last minute, before they actually do the submission. And so it will be like, the economic situation is not making them to actually come forth.
All right.
So, we did some enforcement, 2 weeks ago, and people are actually saying, okay, they will make submission. I said, if you want to make submission, you ought to have actually started by now.
All right.
You don't wait till the end of the year before you say you want to make submission.
Now, so a lot of times, by the time they go to the LASPPPA office, LASPPPA, after receiving the applications, they will refer them to you, right? In some aspects. Is that correct?
No. They come to us when we enforce. We now refer them to LASPPPA. They come to LASBCA first. LASBCA is the one enforcing. So once they respond, we tell them, go to LASPPPA and start the process of obtaining your as-built permit.
Right. And they've been doing that, right?
They've been doing it, yeah.
All right. So when is this amnesty going to be ending? Town Planner Alani?
Yeah, according to the last publication, we end come 31st of December 2024.
Wow, which is just about 5 days from now.
Exactly.
Right. So
and that reminds me, because of what my colleague just said now, some people are still of the belief that there was still going to be another extension. So they still came. As at before I left office on Tuesday, many people are still come just to come and take assessment, and they are still asking this morning, if I can't pay it now by December, what will happen? I say, I'm not governor, I can't say. Right before me, the other friend were telling him, don't worry, you still hear announcement before the end of 31st. We are going to hear another announcement.
You really?
So, yes.
So they are confident that
I don't know who gave them that.
Still
they are saying it to me.
But Mr. Governor has done 3 extensions.
Yes, from August to October, from October to December. I just still don't know why people are still not. But like Engineer Stephen rightly said, the economy is hitting hard on
people.
So
right.
They actually wanted, because numbers of assessment I gave daily is not commensurate with number of payment I receive.
You mean
so
it?
That means if I give 10 assessment, like 3 or 4 people
we pay. Okay. Yes. All right. So now, for those who do not really understand all of this, what is the amnesty all about? What are they waiving? What are they waiving for them, or what's the thing that they will not pay for?
Now, the law of the land stated that before any development is taken on the land, there must be a planning permit. Okay. Even before you dig, before you start your construction, you must have a planning permit. Now, many people have violated this law and they have built without obtaining planning permits. The amnesty is a kind of program that wants to accommodate people to come and obtain their planning permit, even though they have built. No, the penalty is your assessment. Assuming, let's say your assessment, what you ought to pay is 400,000, right? If you have failed to obtain it and you have built, then there is what we call penalty. Penalty is assessment times 4. Ooh. So that penalty will have been 400 times 4,
which is 1.6 million.
1.6, assuming the assessment is 400. In case where your assessment is 4 million, then you'll be paying 4 million times 4. Yeah. Wow. That will be 16 million. So it is this penal fee
that has been waived.
And
it's a big one indeed, if you ask me.
It's a very, very, very big one.
Right.
It's a very big one. And not only that, there is a rebate during this period that if you pay your assessment between 10 days of giving you the bill, then you are going to enjoy 5%.
Discount again?
Yes, discount again.
An additional 5% discount?
Another 5%. That's number 2. And number 3 is that is what we call state certification. Before now, it used to be 35% of the assessment fee. But because of the amnesty, the governor has reduced state certification fee to 15%. Wow. That's like 20% off it again.
Which is good.
Which is very, very good.
All right. So, Adeniyi Stevens, does it matter what kind of buildings can benefit from this? What kind of completed buildings? Let's just still enlighten our people more on that.
All completed buildings that are in use are meant to benefit for these as built amnesty. That is.
It doesn't matter the year that it was built.
It doesn't matter the year.
Even if it was built in 1975.
Even if it was built 100 years ago.
Okay.
In as much as it has built.
And it's in Lagos. It's fully completed.
Exactly, sir.
What if my building is not yet complete? I've raised it up to lintel. It's not yet complete.
That is still under construction. It's not an as built.
So with that, I cannot benefit from it.
You cannot benefit, because that's the mistake most people are making. Some will be doing a remodeling, and they will say, they want to enjoy the benefit of amnesty. And we tell them no. It is not an as-built. An as-built is meant to be that you are not doing anything again on that building. It is as it is built, so it is in use. So the moment you're actually doing any construction works around it,
right,
it becomes null and void for the amnesty program.
All right. So, Tampo Alani, for somebody who has built, let's assume it's somewhere around Alagbado or perhaps in Ejigbo, even at Ejigbo where you are, and probably by the time, this building has been standing for like 40, 45 years, the owner of the building passes on. They cannot really get the details of that particular building. They don't have the credentials and all the papers that are required. Can such people still benefit from this?
Yes, they can benefit from it. There is no way they will not have a survey plan. The first thing is a survey plan that will tell us the location of the land. They can easily get a surveyor to get us a survey plan for them. The number 2 things, there is no way they will not know the name of the owner of the building, even though they cannot trace any further document. And that is why the amnesty approval is coming in two phases. That is what we call provisional planning permit. Then that is what we call full planning permit. If you don't have an existing title document, or like the case you asserted that they cannot be traced, then we are going to give them a provisional planning permit, simply because they cannot produce to us a deed of conveyance or a certificate of occupancy that shows that the land has been duly registered with government. So if they cannot provide that, we are going to issue them a provisional planning permit.
Right.
That's going to be last for another 90 days.
Oh, okay.
On or before that time, we expect them to perfect their title document with land registry.
Okay.
If they can get that all done before 90 days, expiration of 90 days, then we come back, we issue them full planning permits, free of charge, no additional cost.
What about buildings that are dilapidated? I mean, I'm talking about those buildings that are very old. They've had series of touches, but even with the touches, they're not looking fine at all. Will those ones also get planning permits too?
No.
Or would they also enjoy this amnesty as well?
Not really, because before we grant any approval, that is what we call non-destructive integrity test.
Okay.
They must be satisfied by building control agency, where we have the domicile of our engineers, architects, and stuff. They must clear its fitness before we issue approval.
Right.
So that is why we work hand in gloves.
All right. So for you, engineer Stephen Adeniyi, so for you, when you go out and you see those kind of structures, do you raise alarm, or perhaps how do you approach it?
Yes, we have our processes for that. Once we see a building with signs of distress features, we serve them a letter, to go and conduct a non-destructive integrity test. So we give them a space of 14 days for them to respond to this. So within that period, if they don't get to us, we'll go back there to that site and serve a CN, that's a contravention notice, listing what their offenses are. Then after which, if they don't still respond, we go back there, serve other notices like demolition notice, seal up,
Right.
and mark the building
Okay.
as distress, or critically distressed. So depending on the features of distress that we saw, or that we see on the building.
Right.
So
Okay then. So that's the way it works.
that's the way it works.
All right. So this amnesty, when is it ending again? Tampa Alani. Let's just reiterate that.
Like I said, 31/12/2024. That's 31st of December 2024, in like 5 days' time.
Right. So by Tuesday, the amnesty should be over. That's pending any other pronouncement from Mr. Governor. But the date, tentatively right now, is the 31st of December 2024. And those of you within the Ejigbo corridor, if you are listening to me right now, I guess you must be hurrying up to go and see Town Planner Alani for him to help you out before that day. But if people come around, how long can they get the planning permits?
Yeah, if they come around with their full checklist of documents required, in 10-15 working days,
They should be able to get it.
yes.
And what's the checklist?
They have been getting it.
What's
Number
the
one,
checklist?
they are going to come with a survey plan. Number two, they will give us a title document, either a deed of assignment, a stamp duty purchase receipt. Number three, they are going to give us the architectural design as built. Number four, they are going to prepare a letter of structural stability from a registered engineer that is going to tell us that the building is fit and okay for habitation. Then if it is 2 floors and above, then there are need for them to conduct a non-destructive integrity test, signed and endorsed by Lagos State Material Testing Laboratory.
Okay.
Then the certified current engineer will attest to it that the building is fit.
Right.
That is from 2 floors and above.
So that means you do collaborations with other agencies as well.
Yes, very well.
All right, let's now jump into Ejigbo and begin to look at your duties. So your direct responsibilities. Let's start first with Engineer Joseph Adeniyi. As the LASBCA official on ground at the district office in Ejigbo, what are your direct responsibilities?
All right, we move around Ejigbo to carry out the monitoring activities, identify buildings under constructions, distressed buildings, buildings under remodeling or renovation. So once we see all these buildings, we serve them notices.
Yeah, right. That's for those who have not been able to talk to you first before
Exactly.
they go ahead.
Because ideally, if you have an approval, if you have authorization, you're supposed to come to the office, give us all the documents that this is what you have gotten, and we're supposed to write us a letter, informing us for stage inspection and certification.
Right.
Right. So we're supposed to be part of the building process.
That's right.
The moment we're not part of this, then the building becomes a contravention.
Okay, then. And for Temple and Alani, what are your direct responsibilities under Ejigbo District Office?
Number one is to make sure we process and we grant approval to intending developer. That's the primary assignment. Intending developer, because the law states you must get your approval before you start construction. Number two, during this amnesty now, we need to grant approval for those people that are ready and are willing to key into the amnesty program. Number three is to ensure that people comply with the operative development plan. We call them ODPs within the area. In our area now, the Solo, there is this operative development plan. We call it OSHOD, Isolo Model City Plan.
Okay.
It runs from 2018 to 2038. So there are many land use that we are to key into. So it's my responsibility to make sure people are building in accordance with that one. Then also there are some land that have been reserved for government for one purpose or the other. It's my responsibility to ensure that those places were not developed. You don't grant approval in that area. Another one is that they are set back to canals, to natural features. We ensure that there are no development within those zones. So we allow people, when they come, people might not know. So when they come for approval, we tell them, for like canal now, we need to have 10 meters from a concrete canal. So if your building is within the 10 meters to a concrete canal, then it's a no-go. If it's a canal that has not been concretized, then it has to be 15 meters.
Wow.
If your building line fall within 15 meters, it's a no-go area.
Wow.
There is a people in Ejigbo, we have pipeline. In Ejigbo, we have power lines.
That's right.
So we have so many natural features that we need to make sure we guide people not to build under them. Okay. So it's my primary responsibility to ensure.
Beautiful. We'll talk about those responsibilities too as the program moves on. But let's also intimidate the listeners with Ejigbo and its location, and also the communities that fall under this particular district. So for you as the LASBCA person in charge of Ejigbo, Engineer Adeniyi, what are the communities that fall under Ejigbo?
Okay, well, many. We have Keno, we have Jakonde Estate, we have Bokno Estate, we have every road adjoining Oyisumbari to the military zone. There are many.
Okay, so there are many communities that fall under your own district office.
Exactly.
All right, Temple and Alani, what about you?
Yeah, we share the same boundary. We operate under the same boundary.
Okay.
So our boundary is from Okafa, immediately after the canal in Shibita. Then we start from there. Then we move to NNPC. From NNPC, we move to there is a place we call Lafenwa.
Right.
And from there, we move to Adejumo, up to where we have before Christ Lounge. We stop. Limo should take over from that side.
There.
Then the Fushe power line. Then we move to Ailegun on K2. Ikotun Isolo Express Road.
Right.
Then we move to Ailegun. We move to where we call Bokno, Jakonde Estate around that area. Then Isheri Oshun.
Okay, I was just about to mention that as well. So all those communities fall under your district?
Yes.
All right. So how would you describe Ejigbo in terms of the physical and urban space? Is this an already built space or is it developing?
Ejigbo is developing.
Categorically
is developing.
Okay. So you still have so many buildings that are under construction that are coming up in that area?
Yes, Ejigbo is developing.
That'll be a whole lot of work for you guys.
It is. Actually, it is.
All right. So you are the ones that go much more on inspection. I'm talking about Engineer Adeniyi now. So what do you see when you go on this inspection? Do you have much more or people that are contravening, or you have people that are aligning with the laid down laws of the land?
Well, we have the two. There are so many people that are aligning with the laid down laws, following the process, obtaining the approval, writing for stage inspection and certification, and we are actually staging them. And there are so many other people, other sites that are contravening the law of the land. So just like it is in everywhere in Lagos, so it is in Ejigbo too. But we are trying our best to make sure we make them to come to full compliance with the law.
All right. So anytime you go out there, you see some of them, especially for the ones that want to start building without even getting in touch with the office. Yeah. So for those ones, what do you do to them? What
we did is to serve all the relevant notices, then seal the site and tell them to proceed to Lagos State Physical Planning Permit to obtain their development permit first before coming to LASBCA.
Right. Yeah. So once they get that, they can now get to you and then you issue the approvals.
Yes,
How long does this take?
Which ones, sir?
Now, once they go for development planning permits now, let me get that to town planner Alani. So when they come to you, how long does this permits, how long do you take to issue them?
I've said it earlier on that if they come with their normal documentation, which I've listed before, in 15 working days, that's like 3 weeks maximum, the permit is out. The only thing that could delay them is when they don't come with their appropriate documentation, because there are something they would, like if you don't pay your tax and you are not tax cleared by LRS, you cannot get your approval.
Wow.
Yes.
So you have to be tax compliant.
Yes.
To be able to get the
if your buildings need some clarification from Lagos State material testings and they are not get cleared you in case of as built, you cannot get your approval.
Wow.
You need to make sure you have your sign off from them before you get your approval. So if all these things are well taken care of, in 15 working days max, my team will deliver your approval.
And what kind of approvals can you give as the one in charge of that Ejigbo district office? Is it all kinds of buildings? Or?
Yeah, the approval is in level. For my level, without referring to my headquarters, anything that is bungalow and a story building, I grant approval
directly.
That is residential.
Okay.
Residential of a bungalow and a story building, I grant the approval rights in my office.
Now
when you have 2-story building up to 3-story building, then I have what we call supervising director.
Okay.
And my supervising director will do that. That will be between myself and my supervising director.
Is it also in the district?
It's at the headquarters.
Headquarters.
So
okay.
those 5 will get to headquarters.
All right.
So
2 floors, 3 floors. This one will go to the supervising director. What about anyone that is from 4 floors and above?
Go to GM.
Okay.
Before they come back.
Right.
Then for above 6 floors, they go to PS.
All right. And about anything above that, we go to the commissioner. So that's the hierarchy.
So it's in level.
Right. Okay, then Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. This morning, we're examining the crucial roles that district officers play in shaping the built environment in Lagos. And I have with me in the building 2 great officers from the Lagos State Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development. First off, this morning, I have with me Town Planner Adejumo Olufemi Alani, and of course he's a FNITP, of course, fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners. And I also have with me this morning engineer Adeniyi Joseph Stephen. All right, we're going to take a short break right now. When we return, we find out from them what are the challenges confronting them as they seek to advance the physical and urban space in Ejigbo. And that will also be the time you can join us too with your questions on 08099120777. You can put in a call to us on 09153877127. A brief break, we'll be back.
Dear Lagosians, the vision of making Lagos a sustainable and resilient state through community regeneration and inclusive physical planning begins with building right. We all have a role to play in achieving this vision in line with the Lagos State Urban and Regional Planning and Development Law of 2019 as amended. Do you know that before buying a land or building on it, you must check for the permissible use from the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development? Do you know that you must obtain a planning permit and authorization to commence the construction of your building? Do you also know that you require state certification and certificate of completion for building construction in Lagos State? Estate developers must obtain layout approval before developing their estates and obtain full planning permit after the expiration of a provisional planning permit. Their Lagosians, do not carry out unapproved renovation, remodeling or demolition. Do not break the seal on an enforced property. Do not obtain fake planning permit and do not abandon uncompleted buildings. Do not break the law. Build right in accordance with the state operative development plans. Let's work together to make Lagos a sustainable smart city of choice. For more information, download the Lagos State MPP UD app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, Àjùmọ̀ṣe Announcer, Lagos State Government.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. We're still on Build Right. And of course, I've got my friends from Ejigbo, their district officers. One from LASPPPA, which is the Lagos State Physical Planning Permit Authority, and one from LASBCA, Lagos State Building Control Authority. Lekki Ajah corridor this morning, free flow of traffic from Jubilee Bridge, Ajah inwards Abraham Adesoya, looking pretty good. Ogombo Road down to Olukunla is also looking good. And from there to Ogidon, it's a smooth ride all the way. Ogidon heading towards ShopRite and Crown Estate, Awuyaya, Lakowe, Eleko Junction, extending down to the T Junction and Ayetoro is also very encouraging. At this time, the return journey from Ayetoro linking up with the T Junction, heading to Eleko Junction. School Gate, as well as Abijo, Majek, ShopRite, and Ogidon down to Landway is very much in good shape right now. Okay, then, so let's expand the discourse beyond the studios to also have your input this morning with my friends from Ejigbo, that's from Ejigbo Corridor. All right, then. So feel free to connect with us 080-99-120-777 and 09153-877127. Those are the numbers that you can connect with us on the program this morning. All right. Of course, we'll be very, very willing to hear from you. And some messages are coming in for you, but both. This one says, good morning and compliments of the season. How do you ensure that urban development aligns with the Lagos State, with the Lagos State Master Plan? Okay. This is coming in from Anthony. Okay. Anthony, you want to find out if plans that are issued aligns with the Master Plan. All right. So, Town Planner Alani, this will go to you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Anthony. Like we said, before we grant approval, there is what we call operating development plan of the state, where we have earmarked uses for all the space within the state.
Okay.
Whatever application that you are bringing in, that is what we call charting room.
Right.
Your application will go to the charting officer. Your proposal must be in tandem with the approved zone of that area.
All right. So all those places where you have the pipelines, you know them already.
Yes.
So there's no way you'll be able to issue any
approval on that area.
On this area.
If there is any structure within that area, that means the person built it illegally without permits.
So,
and that is why we have the surveillance team of the LASBCA to moving around to make sure, people will not come. People will not tell us what they want to do. So until we move out, we detect it and we begin to serve them enforcement notice.
All right.
But before we grant approval, we make sure we check with the operating development plan. We chart. You will chart your survey plan. If your survey plan is not in tandem, then we tell you it's a no.
You mean it?
Yes.
Okay, then. Let me see if I can take this call that's coming in. Hello there. Good morning.
Yeah, hello. Good morning.
All right. What's your name?
My name is Wale.
Wale, how you doing?
I'm very good.
All right.
Very good.
Compliments of the season to you.
Same to you. Same to you.
All right. Where are you calling from, Wale?
All right. I'm calling from Ojodu.
Ojodu. All right. Go ahead.
Yes. Yes. I want to ask the town planners, even though I'm not within Ejigbo, but I just want to ask them that what are they doing about the activities of Omonile? Sometimes they stall development plans, they encroach into land. Maybe you've planned your development plan on your land, you've gotten approval and everything, and before you know, somebody comes from somewhere, they cut out of your land, and So what are they doing about the activities of Omonile, and how does, because it disrupts the development process.
That's right.
So what can be done about
that? All right, then. Thank you very, very much, Wale, for this one. And I hope you are enjoying your Christmas, right?
Yeah, so far so good.
Beautiful. Okay, then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me throw that question to Engineer Joseph Adeniyi. Omonile's and the activities, does it interfere with yours? And what are you doing to curtail their excesses?
Well, Omonile is a menace, because that's a part of the challenges we have in doing our enforcement processes and distorting the approval process or development process. Ideally, most people that we actually see on site when we go to do our monitoring, they always they have to take possession of their land just because of the Omonilex. Because if they don't do that, they might eventually lose the land. And this will not make them to go and do the right thing in terms of obtaining development permits. Right. But I tell people, that's why we have land grabbers, right? Yeah. In as much as you have issues like this, go to land grabbers office, report your case, then they will take it up from there.
Okay, there's a land grabbers office?
Yes.
With the ministry?
No, it's a
domicile with the Ministry of Justice.
Ministry of Justice.
Oh, Ministry of Justice.
Yes.
Okay. So once they can do that, they will be able to help you as well.
Oh,
that's beautiful. So Wale, if you're trying to do anything that relates to your building, you've gotten the right approvals, and Amonile, they are disturbing you, just head to that unit and they'll be able to help you out as well. This one says that what measures are in place to curb illegal developments in Ejigbo and other parts of Lagos? Toyin is sending that one in. Town Planner Alani, I think you've talked a bit about that, right?
Yes. We are still in a developing nation where people will believe they can do anything without government's involvement. So our lack of approach is like we are on a good day in the same climb. People, the intending developer, they should approach government. But in our own case, government is spending a lot of money to chase a developer. So we cannot sit down at office and rely conveniently.
All right.
So we have to move out. And that is why we have the monitoring team, especially in LASBCA, that is we are chasing. Normally people should come and seek advice. People should come and take approval. But on the contrary, they will not. So we are using a lot of energy, a lot of resources to chase developers.
All right. Then this one says, how can residents, governments, and private stakeholders work together to achieve this vision of good building? You didn't put your name. Thank you so much for that one. This one says, good morning, town planners. It says, season greetings to you. What is your long-term... okay, I'm trying to get that. It says, what is your long-term vision for Ejigbo's built environment? This is coming in from Nwamaka. Okay, Nwamaka is sending that one in. All right, I don't know if you got that at all. It says, good morning, town planners. Season greetings to you. What is your long-term vision for Ejigbo's built environment? Nwakama is sending that one in. What's the vision?
Well, the vision is to ensure a safe, reliable, and sanitized building environment where everybody building in tandems with the law of the land.
All right, so that's what you guys are hoping for in that area. Exactly. This one says, felicitations to you in the studios. How do you manage the issue of land encroachment or disputes in the district? Deji, sending this one in. Town Planner Alani, disputes?
Land disputes, land encroachments, like Engineer Stephen has rightly said, there is a unit we call land grabber. So they are the one that, when you have land disputes, we don't settle such case within my own agency.
Okay.
So we refer them to go and see, because I cannot determine who owns the land or who buy first.
That's right. So that has to be done by the Ministry of Justice.
Yes.
All right, let's begin to wrap this up on the program this morning. But before then, quickly, what are the challenges confronting you? Let's start first with Engineer Joseph Adeniyi. What are the challenges confronting you in Ejigbo?
One of the challenges is what calling
the caller. Wale, what he said.
The Amonile issues.
Okay.
Then others are the challenges from district urchins. They sometimes come and harass officers.
Oh.
When we go out to do monitoring, we are not harmed. Right. Okay. So we only go out with our vehicles and serve notices. So
they sometimes assault your men.
Exactly.
Wow.
So when they do this, we have to go and
get reinforcement.
Get reinforcement too.
With the police?
With the police.
And, all right. And for you, Town Planner Alani, quickly, what are your challenges?
I'll right to reiterate again. People believe that to get approval is something that cannot be far from their reach. And I'm saying it again that by yourself walking to my office, they will be able to put you right. During this amnesty, a lot of people have come. By the time I engage them in discussion, they will be telling me, they never knew it would be this easy. Right. They never knew it can be this easy.
And where's your office located?
It's at number 2 Ayamasiko Street off Afari Ogun by Charity Bus Stop along Airport Road, Oshodi.
Okay, so by Charity Bus Stop.
They should just come. They should not stop sending people. If we send somebody, whatever I tell you will not be the same thing the person will tell you.
Right.
If I say 2,000, the person will tell you 6,000. So just take your time and come.
And come there.
Yes.
All right then. And for Engineer Joseph, where's your office located?
Yes. My office is located at the tax force office opposite Arena.
At Oshodi.
Exactly.
Okay, then. We'll leave it at that for now. Both of you, there's been a nice excursion talking to us and enlightening us on what's happening in Ejigbo. So let me say a very big thank you to the two of you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you
very much.
All right, so we've been trying to examine the crucial roles that district officers play in shaping the effectiveness of the built environment in Lagos State. And we've done that from the viewpoint of district officers located within the Ejigbo corridor. First off is town planner Adejumo Olufemi Alani, who's, of course, town planning officer with LASPPPA and head of Ejigbo district. And we've also done that with engineer Adeniyi Stephen Joseph, who is deputy director Geotechnical Engineering with LASBCA, and he's the head of Ejigbo district. We have to go. The program this morning has been produced by Dayo Anthony. I say a big thank you to Adetola Akinsoya, who's chief public affairs officer for the ministry. Same for Mukaila Sanusi, who's director of public affairs. And a big one going out to Abimbola Ume, who is director of public affairs for the Lagos State Physical Planning Permit Authority, LASPPPA. We have to go. Remy Aluko, and of course, Okwaimi Shodunke, both of them of our social media unit. We do appreciate you. Our executive producer is Tayo Akonle. My name is Victor Oteri. Have a splendid day. Bye.